All right. Let me get my camera straight. There we go. So y'all can see my new little gift that I got up there. That's right. Sooners fan base continues to just hook me up. Gonna wait a little while and see if we can get a few people in here. Might have a couple of guests tonight. Actually, might have Killer Breeze on again, as well as college football with Jonathan Lewis. But I just want to jump in here real quick and see what y'all think about this coming week of college football that we got coming up. This is week 6 of the college football season. Going by like a blink of the eye, just like I said before. Got a few notes here. Basically, want to talk about Alabama versus Texas A&M, Oklahoma versus Texas some more, because that is the biggest game of the week. The Red River Rivalry, once again, is now featuring 2 undefeated teams. It's been quite some time since the Red River. Well, I'm not going to call it rivalry because we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to get away from the politically correct crap. So what we're going to do is we're going to start calling it the Red. I can't even speak that. The Red River Shootout is what people said that they prefer it to be called. We already got a few people up in here already. Hines 57A is in the house, and he's already given us a prediction of Oklahoma 42-27 over the Longhorns. Garrett Boulware is also in the house, and he says Tuck Texas. Also, Greg Sankey is going to be at the Red River Shootout. Ain't that some shit? That's pretty cool, huh? But your Mark's not going to be there. Man, that just reeks of Bush League. I'm wetting my diapers. Don't you think? You know, I had a lot of respect for your Mark when he added those 5. What was it, 4? When he had those 4 schools from the G5s, he got the best of the best, the G5. I said, man, that dude done a good job of saving the Big 12 and not meeting to death like the Pac-12 is doing. But then he had to do it. He had to go to that Texas Tech luncheon and basically open his mouth and say what he said, which was basically that he hoped that Texas Tech would take care of Oklahoma and Texas. And so I guess that's why he's not showing up, because they're fixing to leave the conference. It just reeks of sour grapes to me. And him being a well-known commissioner, you think he could at least go to the game. He may not have to speak, but at least be present there, because it is technically still a Big 12 game, and it's also probably the best that the Big 12 probably has at getting a team into the playoffs this last year of the 4-team playoff. But y'all jump out and hit that like button, share it out to a few friends. Let's get a few people up in here. Going to wait a little bit to see if some more people show up. We're up to a whopping 7 people right now. Usually we have about 50 or 60 people up in here. But I sort of did this last minute, so that's on me tonight. Deion Sanders. Looks like old Con Time is on a Con Time losing streak. They lost 2 in a row. Of course, you're going to have people come in here and say, well, Con Time almost beat the Skittle Shitters. So what? Tulane did beat the Skittle Shitters, and Con Time didn't, because Con Time does what Con Time does. He chokes on the big stage. When he plays a team in the top 10 or a team that's considered to be his opponent in a bowl championship game, like the Celebration Bowl, which he lost back-to-back Celebration Bowls, every time he's on the big stage, he shits the bed. Hines 57A says he beat not short for Oklahoma Texas Tech. Will tie the schooner and drag him across the field. Yeah, that's the sentiments of a lot of people, Hines. I can guarantee you that. I'm not even a Big 12 guy, but I just thought it reeked of Bush League sour grapes, in my opinion. Billy Townsend in the house, just coming up in here. If you don't mind, Billy, y'all hit that like button and can jump back in the chat. Sort of done this last minute, so we're probably not going to get as much traffic tonight as we usually do. But hit that like button and then share it out to a bunch of your friends out there. Doesn't matter what fan base. You can bring any fan base up in here, whether it's Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Slippery Rock University, South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Check out the South Dakota State Jackrabbit hat right up there. That's right. But they continue on this odyssey of just man crushing on con time. I don't get it, man. I still haven't gotten it. Maybe some of you in here that are actual fans of con time Deion Sanders, maybe y'all can explain it to me. He's now lost 2 games back-to-back against top 10 opponents. Although I would say that USC's probably not really a top 10 team, to be quite honest with you, with that kind of defense. But the one real top 10 team that he played, you guys ass handed to him 42-6. So I'm just not understanding that. Wow, the love. Dennis Dodd today, I was reading his article. I about puked. I'm just like, and they come up with these grandiose adjectives to describe the one that they call con time. And they could just be simple with it and be like me. They call him con time because he's a con man. Collective effervescence. Collective effervescence is what con time brings to the game, said Gus Johnson of Fox Sports. Well, gee, Gus, I wonder why y'all said that. Was it because that Fox carries con time's ass clown circus camp that comes to town or stays in Boulder each and every week? I think so. I think that your gig's about up. And it wouldn't surprise me if they gotten ahead of some of the officials and tried to fix some of these games where they could actually keep it close. They play Arizona State this week. Arizona State, you don't know what we're going to get with Arizona State. They got shut out by Fresno State, and then they give the Skittle Shitters of USC a pretty damn good game. So, and the game's being played in Arizona State. So, if Deion messes up and loses to Arizona State, then there's no longer that excuse of, oh, well, it was a top 10 school. Right? Rhino 26 is in the house with a big old fist bump. Appreciate the hell out of that, Rhino. Rhino's always up here. He's a big-time supporter of the program. I appreciate the hell out of that, Rhino. As you can see, Rhino and Billy Townsend, among others, have their badges. They're deputized. That's because they're an outlaw posse. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and get a random 4-horseman shout-out, which I may do later, all you got to do is hit that join button, that subscribe button. It's not $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. That's just a bottle of water. And you could also possibly be the comment of the day. I'm going to probably wait till a few more people get in here to give that 4-horseman shout out because I want to make sure that maybe they get to hear it. Not much, brother. Got a late start tonight. Just done this last minute. I've seen a few things that people might want to talk about. So I just thought I'd take a stab at it and see what's up. Doesn't look like there's much traffic tonight as other nights. The other night, actually, we got up to almost 100 people in here. I think we got up to 97 folks up in here. If y'all can just jump out and hit that like button, share it. Like button pushes the algorithm for me. Share it out to a few of your friends, and we'll see what's up. You want to be a guest on here at Kuz's Corner? Or are you tied up right now, brother? Kane Reed's in the house. What's up, Outlaw? What's going on, brother? Yeah, I just did it last minute, man. So I really should have given everybody a little bit better notice. I've noticed that I don't want to schedule it too far out because then people forget. But I've noticed if I sort of give people about 2 or 3 hours heads up that I'm doing a live stream, that it works out better that way. You don't want to schedule out 12 hours ahead of time, but you also don't want to schedule out 20 minutes, which is what I did. Got everybody about 20 minutes notice that I was getting up on here. But the numbers are coming up right now. Do you want to be a guest on here today, Kuz? If you do, I'll send you a link. David Orwig's in the house. He's a big supporter of the program as well. I don't know if you know Jason Whitlock's channel, but he says many things against con time, especially being woke. And as a Christian, he has no business being woke or bringing rappers who shoot people. Yeah, I saw that, David. And I completely agree with Jason Whitlock. If you're going to portray yourself as this big-time Christian, then don't be bringing rappers and stuff into your fold, giving motivational speeches to your players when they've actually been involved with the shootings of 2 people that they didn't prove, obviously because he's got a lot of money, in my opinion. And then, of course, the way that he talks and treats women is another thing that maybe I wouldn't adhere to if I was time, if I'm trying to portray myself as a Christian. Now, I do believe in God, but I don't go around and trying to portray myself as some kind of man of God. And times try to do it before. He tries to act like that he's a borderline minister of some sort. And I don't think he ministers is being a con. And there's a lot of them out there like that. There's a lot of those Saturday night drunks, Sunday morning preachers, as my mama used to call them. And Deion, I think, is one of those. All right. I'll see what I can do, cuz. I'll try to invite you real quick. Actually, I need your email address. I'll have to send you a link in just a second. Well, that would not surprise me, David, if Contime did have his having a little stash of prostitution going on, because those Saturday night drunk Sunday morning preachers tend to have them a stash of women. So it would not surprise me if he was like Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze had them. He had them escorts on speed dial when he was at Ole Miss. I'm not making that shit up. He literally had an escort service on speed dial. And that's probably what Contime Deion does too, just like Hugh Freeze. Crimson needs to get it done against Texas A&M this weekend. Who's Deion? Well, at least you spelled his name right. He's got these groupies, man. Rhino. Deion has these groupies now that they love him so bad, they get so flustered up and bent up in their panties, they can't even spell his name right. I don't know how many times, and it's not like Deion's a long-ass name. I don't know how many times I've seen people call him Don Sanders and Deion without the I and Den and Denon. I mean, they call him all sorts of things except his actual name. I guess they just get all flustered on the keyboard there, man, and slobbering on themselves and whatnot. I don't know, man. I don't understand the man crushes that they have on this guy. You can't walk through the walk, then don't talk the talk. That's true. What is your email address, Chris? I'll send you a link if you want to be on here. I need to do a guest appearance. I can boost my subscribers. You got a channel? Oh, that's right. You do got a channel. Except Hines here, he's a prime time groupie. Ain't you, Hines? Ain't you, Hines? You love you some prime time. Some gold chains and vulgar ass rappers that come in there after you preach about God and heaven and all that, and you're going to bring a vulgar rapper in there to do a little twerk session. Billy Townsend says, oh, you will get revenge. We can talk about that as well. We've already talked about it a few times this week. When was the last time? Someone told me it was 2012 was the last time that Oklahoma and Texas were undefeated coming into the Red River Rivalry. Is that true? Was it 2012? You guys and gals tell me. The Alabama and Texas A&M do play this week. They play. Alabama plays them on the road. It's probably Jalen Milroe's first real hard road test. They did play Mississippi State last week. Mississippi State's not the greatest team in the world this year. They lost Mike Leach in offseason. R.I.P. to Mike Leach, by the way. One of the best innovative offensive minds of all time. Hate that happened. But this is probably the first real true road test for Jalen Milroe, and I'm real worried about it. I'll be honest with you. Texas A&M's got a pretty intimidating environment. If you can get on A&M early, their fans tend to lose interest. But if you keep them in it, they're going to be a problem. And if Milroe makes a few mistakes early on, it could be a long night for Alabama. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas A&M were to beat Alabama by 3 scores if Milroe gets shaken a bit. 2011, says the Rhino. Appreciate that, Rhino. Once again, my show has the mantra. I don't know if y'all have heard or not. We are the home of the Common Joe and the Common Sal. And no, even more so than all those media talking heads. And as you can see, Rhino put us in a note. Heath Stokes with a first big donation of the night. I appreciate the hell out of that, Heath. Big $20 donation in the house. Now, I don't see a comment with that, Heath, but if you want to comment, just throw it down there, and I'll make sure I get to it and read yours out first and foremost. Heath Stokes and the Stokes clan, including his mother, Alice Stokes, Austin Stokes, and Aunt Nellie Martin, are huge supporters of this program. By the way, I need to know what first before I say this. Y'all give me your score on Alabama versus Texas A&M. Now, y'all give me a bunch of scores on the Red River Rivalry a few days back, and sort of took note of a few of those. I just want to see exactly how close and how unbiased we can all actually be. I said it was going to be 38-27 Oklahoma. But as you can see right here, got this from, ain't got his name in front of me, but another gift from the Sooner Nation. It's a Boomer Schooner. How do you like me now? That's right. Now if I could just have old JR in here from wrestling to talk it up, that'd be even better. I think I'm going to get JR to be on here. He's going to be one of my first celebrity guests since these Oklahoma people support me so hardcore. I'm putting words in your mouth. Oh, no, now. I watched your podcast, man. You in there saying that you wanted to get my shit and grill me about making fun of con time, man. By the way, Hans, awesome beard. I do like that about you. He's got probably one of the coolest beards I've ever seen. Heath Stokes says, let's talk Red River shootout. The prelims are over. Let's talk real football. Well, Heath, we've talked about it a couple times this week already. But I can say this, like I said in my predictions, a lot of people, a stat that a lot of people are not really looking at to me was the fact that Texas did not seem to be able to sack the Kansas quarterback not one time, and it was Kansas' backup quarterback. Texas is going to have to hit Dylan Gable. They're going to have to sack him at least, I think, twice in order for this game to go the way they want it. If they do not get enough pressure on Dylan Gable, he will eat their ass up. And I think that Oklahoma's defense is better than Texas's defense. Now, Oklahoma's defense is not going to be able to hold Texas down like they did these other guys that they played the first 4 games or first 5 games. But it'll be just enough. I think that, it might not just be an upset. I think Oklahoma could win by a couple of scores. And that's what my prediction was, 38-27. You didn't tell me your email address, man. I don't know your email address, brother. You send me your email address on here or whatever. Just tell me on here. Did you send it to my phone? I don't know, man. I don't see it on my phone here. Facebook, maybe. I have to send it to your email because the Rhino 26 is up here again with his badge because he's a big deputized part of the Outlaw Posse. And he's also a VIP member as well. Reasons why I think people underestimate OU, Schmitty. The defense don't burn out like Alex Grinch's D in stretch bands and what? Pellets? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Alex Grinch, man. I don't even know if it's Alex Grinch's fault, to be honest with you. It's just like Killer Breeze said. It doesn't matter who he has there, whether it's Mark Stoops, Alex Grinch, who else do you have there? Brent Venables even. If he's not going to recruit defensive players accordingly to help those guys, it's not going to really matter. The Rhino 26 with another huge donation to the house. Damn, Rhino, I appreciate the hell out of that, man. I'm going to have to give you ownership in this program. When we go big time and get on the big screen with, I don't know, probably, I hope it's not ESPN. Maybe it'll be Fox. I don't know. I might clash at Fox, man, with old RJ. I know RJ used to be a big Oklahoma guy, supposedly. Now, I know he actually attended Tulsa University or some shit. And he used to be a fan of some other team, too. But anyway, if we ever go big time, Rhino, I'm going to make sure that you have a nice seat in a suite somewhere. I'm going to hook you up, brother. I'm going to hook you up. I sent it to your email. Brother. Really? The email's blank. Okay, let me try it again. May not be able to get to it tonight. I don't know. We'll see what we got here. Try to invite somebody up in here for y'all. Copied. Email. Nope. Copy. All right. Let's see here. Let's compose this to Killer Breeze. And we'll try to get Killer Breeze up in here. All right. I sent it again, Killer Breeze. Billy Townsend with a big $20 donation as well. Appreciate the hell out of that, Billy. I didn't see a comment with that donation, but you know, if you put a comment up here in the next few minutes and I see it, I'll grab it, brother. I'll make sure that we read it out for you, brother. Heath Stokes says everybody in here needs to dig into those pockets and support. The OCF brings it every day with uninhibited. Don't make me get educated saying all these big words, man. Uninhibited presence. Almost made me have brain sprain. Support this. He is real. Appreciate that, brother. That's a big compliment from you. RJ is a sack. Yeah, he's a big old sack. You're right. What kind of sack remains to be seen. Or does he even have a sack? I don't know. He's adhering to all that politically correct garbage and a lot of that woke transgenderism stuff. I sent you a link, Kill Breeze. Texas will get teabagged, says Hines 57A. Let's look at some of these games real quick for y'all. All right, let me try to bring it up for y'all. See what y'all think about these games this week. All right. Share. Y'all see that? I won't leave it up long because they'll try to white stripe me because they're assholes. All right, we got Kansas State and Oklahoma State this Friday night. It's at Boone Pickens Stadium. Don't really matter. They'll probably lose that game too. Oklahoma State, that is. Old Okie Pokey State. Mr. I'm a man, I'm 53. Looks like he's about to be Mr. I'm a man, I'm unemployed if the shit keeps up. Nebraska plays Illinois in a game that nobody probably cares about. Look at the ticket price on that. $8.34 for a Nebraska game at Memorial Stadium. Woo! Is that Nebraska Stadium? It's still called Memorial Stadium. And there's the big one that everybody's been talking about, Oklahoma versus Texas in the Cotton Bowl. LSU plays Missouri. Missouri is undefeated. That game is at Fairfield in Missouri. What do y'all think about that? Y'all think Missouri is for real? Y'all think they'll handle LSU and give them their third loss and prove what I've been saying all along, that Brian Kelly was just a lucky bastard last year against Alabama? Maryland and Ohio State play each other in an undefeated game as well at the shoe, what I like to call the Toilet Bowl, Ohio Stank University. What do y'all think about those games? David Orwigs says, if you've ever heard of it before, but it was kind of stupid palates, blah, 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 what it really sounds like. Y'all trying to hurt me, man. Y'all know I'm a redneck. You know, old Lavertard or whatever his name is, old Skittle Shitter boy, Lavy boy, Laver, said I'm a hillbilly. I don't have any hills around here. I was like, you do know there's no hills in Tuscaloosa County, right? Texas is going to give OU a good old whooping just like last year, says Corey Baker. Yeah, I know. I found that out from Killer Breeze. I have to send you another one, brother. I have to send you another one. I'll have to send you another one. That's what I have to do. Let me send you another invite, Jonathan. Trying to get y'all some actually, you never give me your email, Chris. At least they give me their email. At least they give me their email, man. What are you trying to be all secretive for, man? There's 007 Kuz over here. Don't want to give me his email. You send me your email, man, if you want to, and I'll put you up in here. Jonathan's going to be up here and eventually, hopefully, maybe even kill a breeze. I don't know. Tagged you on Facebook. I was hoping you could show it in here. I think you'll like it. I know the OU fans will. Yeah, I don't have access to my Facebook on here, brother. I'll have to get that next go around. LSU will whoop that ass, says Justin Goss. My bad, brother. Send it to me again if you got time. I know you're on a limited time schedule there with your family and whatnot. Back to these games. Or better yet, just send it to my phone, man. Send it to my phone. Pull these games back here up for y'all. As I said, LSU, Missouri. Missouri's undefeated. Maryland versus Ohio State. Battle of two undefeated teams. Do y'all think Maryland has a chance to upset Ohio State on the road? Heath Stokes with another big $10 donation, and now we got some guests coming up in here. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for the heat? Y'all ready for the Killer Breeze? Y'all ready for the college football by Jonathan Lewis? There he is.
What's up?
There it is. Hey, you look like a damn Brady Bunch popping up in here, man, with these damn squares.
It's like, can you guys hear me?
Now listen, before we go any further, I heard you talking about RJ, and last time I checked, he does have the #1 college football show.
Hey, man,
I know you like that.
You better shut up, man. That's Jonathan's boy. You don't want to make Jonathan mad.
I followed RJ for a long time.
I was about to say, I'm down with RJ. Listen, you got to respect the game
don't respect
of
shit.
labeling yourself the #1 college football show. And now
Yeah,
he's
balls.
yeah, now he's a
You know,
Fox affiliate.
You do realize that Killer Breeze is being sarcastic, right?
No, I'm halfway. I'm being both.
He's like me.
It is
probably.
ballsy, man, to call yourself the
when
#1.
when me and Jonathan first met the guy, he was pretty cool, but then he got off on that BLM stuff, and I just couldn't tolerate him.
Actually, this is the first time I'm meeting Jonathan. Jonathan, I used to watch your show all the time, man. And where you been the last year or so?
Work, man. Work has kicked me in the nuts, bro. Bad.
Yeah.
Got about 7 or 8 chicks.
No, that ain't happening.
Well,
but you're so stupid. No, I'm gonna start it back probably the next, honestly, week or two. So now that I got work settled down, I got everything straightened out. So I miss it a lot. So
you were good at it, man. I liked it. I thought it was good content, straight, unbiased. It was good.
Speaking of unbiased, I'd like to get your unbiased take, Jonathan. Me and Killer Breeze have talked about it a little bit, but could you give us your unbiased take on what you think about this Red River shootout? We're not going to call it Rivalry. We're going to go back to the old name of it just to piss off the politically correct people. But the Red River shootout, it's the first time these two have been undefeated playing each other since 2011.
What? It's been that long?
Yep.
Wow. That's a long time. Are you asking me who's going to win?
Yeah. What's your breakdown of this game? What do you think about it?
Dude, I keep saying it over and over again, man. I feel like Texas is – I don't care what was going on. Texas is overrated. Just like I said, Alabama was overrated. Like, I have no faith in Quinn Ewers being consistent.
Nope.
None. So
it hasn't happened yet.
That's your Heisman Trophy candidate right there, I thought.
He's top 5 right now if you go by statistics, if you go by stats. But, I mean, in that case, and I openly said this last podcast, not because we have an OU fan on here, but I told you I would take Dylan Gabriel over Quinn Ewers in college. Take out the NFL prospect BS that I don't really keep up with. But if you're going to talk to me about who I'm taking in the offensive scheme they have in play right now, I'm taking Dylan Gabriel in that scheme.
Yeah.
So, no, I believe more in the faith of – I've seen more improvement in Brent Venables' defense, in my opinion, than I have seen from Steve Sarkisian's offense. He's had a lot longer to get together with supposedly 19 5-star QBs and these elite wide receivers that keep coming over from Alabama. I mean, what happened to Jaleel Billingsley and all these other guys, I have no idea. But I just have this disdain for Texas right now. I don't know. It has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with them beating us at all. It's just the past couple of years. I don't know why.
Well, the problem is that first of all, the national media doesn't help anything because they're just dying for any chance to just, drool all over Texas. So the minute they do anything, it gets amplified by a factor of 10 as if it were. I mean, no offense to Alabama because I have nothing but respect for Nick Saban. And he's clearly the best coach ever, and the dynasty that they've had the last 15 years is unbelievable. But this is not the same Alabama team that so they're acting like this is like beating Alabama, 4 years ago. I mean, it's just not. So, and then at all the other games, they struggled with Wyoming. Kansas didn't have its starting quarterback. That game was close until midway through the third. The only thing that isn't what it usually is with Texas, the only thing that's a little different is that they have closed games out instead of either, struggling to hold on to the lead or outright losing. So, anyone that thinks that this is every analyst that I've heard has said Texas is just way too far ahead of Oklahoma in terms of their personnel. And I don't think it's that different, honestly.
No, if Texas would have had a much better O-line than they did last year, it looks better this year. I'll give them that. Yeah. But you're not going to convince me you go from an F- to an A+ in one season. So I'm not giving that benefit of the doubt, right? So when Alabama lived in the backfield all night, even though they came out with no sacks, which we typically don't because they stacked the left side against Dallas Turner, I'll give them that. But there's levels to this. Even Alabama, as great as they may have been through the dynasty, had to go through this process. Texas is no exception. You don't get to skip levels and skip the steps. So, and I love your comment about the media feeding into it, because I believe that's what it is with me. I think it made it obnoxious just hearing about it all the time in my head. Same thing with Colorado. Like, I like
there you go.
Like, it's the same thing. You're just constantly being pounded with it. Oh my God, is it ever going to end? So
yeah, and it's just ridiculous, man. You know, the folks that were pushing Colorado, that's a great example, because that's what made it so annoying, was just how out of touch with reality the analysis on them it was. People were talking about Shedeur Sanders for Heisman. Well, they were never going to win enough games for him to win the Heisman, man. 7 wins, and that's the most I see them getting. They could, like Jesse said, they could lose out. So he was never going to win the Heisman. They were never going to be a college football playoff team. I can't tell you how many Colorado fans I have heard sincerely trying to say that this is a 1 or 2 loss team. I heard that over and over and over again up until they got their first ass whipping by Ward. So it's just annoying, man.
This is a big game for Contime. If he loses to Arizona State, then the gig is really going to be up.
But it's possible.
Huh?
But it's possible. I think
it's more than just possible.
I don't think people understand the gap between Colorado and the rest of the Pac-12. It's not substantial. It's not Oregon. It's not USC. It's very close. When you line up Oregon State, Utah, those teams should beat Colorado. When you start,
absolutely.
So when I'm thinking Arizona State, those are close games to me with Colorado. I don't care what the hype is around Shedeur Sanders. The people I talk to, the draft grades I've actually looked up, not went by Facebook, 6th round at best. Where are these people getting first round at? Yeah, I'm seeing 6th round and undrafted.
And it's not just weak. It's not. These are seasoned sports pundits that are talking, that are saying these things. This isn't like, some Yahoo on YouTube. These are, former professional athletes. These are current, big name sports analysts. It's been I can't believe it what I'm hearing most of the time when it comes to Colorado. I don't know if I've heard an honest take on Colorado yet, honestly.
It's one side or the other. I haven't heard a middle. I've heard Colorado sucks completely. They have no chance for anything, or they're going to damn near win the national championship.
They're better than I thought they were going to be. I'll admit it. I did not even think that they were going to be good enough to win their first 3 games. I really didn't. So in that regard, they're better. What's up, Coos? In that regard, they're better.
I'm good at riding the fence. I can bring the middle.
That's right.
Oh, no. I'm back in here now, Coos. You are not riding the fence, sir. And it's the day after my birthday. So.
Happy birthday.
Jesse, I think that means we got to ride on the extreme sides. Is that what they're trying to say?
Coos' corner. Tell us a little about yourself, Coos.
What do you want to know?
Just tell me about your channel real quick.
Are you in a hotel room, Coos?
I am, man.
Yeah.
Coos, talk to me. How happy are you about West Virginia right now?
Dude, I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely happy, man.
You should be, man. That's awesome.
I'm telling you, their fans. Now, I'm not doing this, but a lot of our fans are already talking like, dude, we might actually have a shot at going to the playoffs. I'm like, slow down. Slow down.
Hey, that's awesome, though.
No, I mean, it is. I mean,
at least y'all in that position.
There's a possibility we could win out. Possibility.
Theoretically, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take a damn near miracle to beat Oklahoma. But every other game on our schedule we should win it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
The 2 games we should have lost were Oklahoma and TCU, and we just won one of those games.
Yeah.
Now, we probably will slip up and lose a game we're not supposed to lose because that's just what happens, right?
Stop
in college
saying
football. Why?
Stop saying it.
It happens, bro.
Believe in the shit. Manifest it, bro.
Dude, I'm a West Virginia fan.
I know.
I can't drink the Kool-Aid, man. I've done drink it for too long, man.
I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship. I'm saying just beat teams you're supposed to beat.
Yeah, I mean, if we win 8 games this year, I'll be content. Just based on where we've been.
Oh, I think that's what I sent you a note on a comment asking you, man. This might be a 9-10 win team.
Well,
I mean,
I
it could very well be.
I just lied. I wouldn't be happy with 8 games because if we win 8 games, that means we've lost to a couple teams we shouldn't lose to.
You wasted those wins.
I wouldn't be, but at least at least we'll be on the trajectory in the right direction. But
so what is the local?
Right. Theoretically, we could win 9 or 10 games. Yeah, I don't think we.
Absolutely.
Whether we will or not, who knows?
Y'all need to hope that Penn State wins out. Penn State wins out, man. That's really
Penn State is not winning shit. I am done with them, bro. 3 years in a row when they went on a roll.
They're going to win it this year, by God.
Smashing everybody. No, dude.
Hey, Jonathan ain't riding the middle.
They're going to win SmackDown.
No, today it's all changing.
They're going to be even better next year.
Penn State.
Yes, look at their roster, dude. They're loaded. They're loaded with sophomores and juniors on that team.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Ohio State or Michigan.
Now I don't know about their line. Their line might have some upperclassmen, but man, their skill positions, almost all sophomores and juniors. Man, it's unreal.
Yeah. So, Kuz, what is the local contingent saying about Neil Brown? Are they believers now? I mean,
it's turning, man. It's crazy. It's turning. It's really turning, and I didn't think I'd see it.
That's amazing. He's one game away from what everybody's saying, at least, from being fired, and now I love it, man. I love stories like that.
Now there's still a few fans out there who are like, well, our offense still sucks. He needs to go. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
You're always going to have that.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you look at the coaching job he's done this year, he's looked at this football team and he said, all right, we're going to suck at this, but we're going to be really good at this. So let's do this. And he's adjusted based on his talent level and what he's strong at. He said, we're going to be able to play defense and run the football. So what's he do? Yeah. He runs the football and plays hellacious defense. And I think what he's done, he made a comment earlier in the year, earlier in the preseason. He said last year when he wasn't the offensive coordinator, he was letting Graham Harrell call the plays. He said it gave me an opportunity to sit back and realize what we need to do to win football games here. And I think he's found what he thinks is the formula to win at West Virginia, which be very blue collar, be tough, be physical, run the ball, play good defense. You can't do the same thing. Yeah. The Big 12 is an air raid conference. You can't do the same thing everybody else is doing. You got to be different. And I think that's what he's trying to do. Go ahead.
This game that's not really been talked about a lot that I think needs to be talked about is Kentucky and Georgia. Do y'all think that Kentucky has a chance to unseat Georgia over in the East? I mean, they're undefeated and they look really good against Florida.
No. It's not even going to be close. The matchup is horrible.
Georgia's defense is still elite.
Auburn played them close now. Auburn almost beat them.
Matchups is what you look at. The matchup is terrible. Kentucky is one-dimensional. Georgia eats up those type of teams. They have Brock Bowers. So unless he has a complete fucking meltdown, Georgia's going to beat him by 2 touchdowns.
They didn't beat Auburn by 2 touchdowns.
That's Auburn. Nobody cares about Auburn.
But it was playing Auburn. We all know that Auburn, man, there's some kind of voodoo going on down there. All the damn barns and whatnot.
Dude, how many times have we lost to Auburn when we were not supposed to lose?
I know. Kick 6, baby.
Rip my heart out, bro. No, I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I think Kentucky can win the game. I really do. That running back they have, bro, is something.
Yeah, he's legit.
Holy crap.
What do you think this Texas A&M Alabama game does for Jalen Milroe going forward?
He's establishing himself. I think Nick Saban did what Kuz just said West Virginia did. They realized, let him run the ball. He needs to run the ball, play defense, and we use our running backs. Plain and simple. We're going to beat Texas A&M this year. even though this seems very eerie to 2 years ago when I was at the game at Texas A&M when they beat us, when Weigman, the exact quarterback, got hurt the week prior to the game, exact same scenario, when Zach Calzada came in and beat us. Really similar. But I think we win this game. And I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah.
I can't take this.
No, y'all are going to win. Y'all are going to beat A&M.
It's really his first true road test. I wouldn't even count Mississippi State last week because Mississippi State's not really a good team. They're not a good team, dude.
You a shit? They still got cowbells.
Man, screw them cowbells.
Yeah. male cheerleaders ain't helping nothing either.
Yeah, there you go. See? Boom.
Oh, jeez.
All male
cheerleaders. What, Coos? Do you like these guys? Do you like the male cheerleaders?
God almighty. No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Hey, listen, when
it's the creepiest thing out there.
I've been to A&M's a game at A&M multiple times, and every time I go, I get bitched at by the Corps for walking on grass. It's the most ridiculous thing. It starts there, you know.
Yeah, on grass. On the sidewalk.
There's parts of the stadium outside the stadium they consider
the Corps?
Sacred. The Corps is the group of the military
cadets.
group they have on campus. Yeah, the cadets.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to walk on the grass.
You're not supposed to.
There's certain areas you're not supposed to. Yeah,
they have signs.
Every time I've been, no, they don't have any signs.
They put a freaking sign up.
At you.
People take them out.
Yeah.
People like me. They will put signs in there, and then people like I used to be in the military, dude, and I remember when I got bitched at for walking on the grass, and I went there to tailgate 2 years ago, and they actually did have little small signs that said, "Please do not walk on the grass if not needed" or whatever. I was kicking those shits right out of the ground.
That's why y'all got your ass kicked, by the way.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But that was a fun time. So you've been, Kilbreeze, you've been to A&M, like down in Colorado?
Many times. Dude, yeah, many times.
That's one of the best atmospheres I've been to, though. Like,
it's a great stadium. It's a great stadium, and honestly, when they have it packed and they all start swaying like they do left and right, it's impressive. But it's just, man, it's just something about A&M is just so uncool that I just can't get into it, man.
I'm just ashamed of Jimbo for being the coach there.
Dude, get rid of that.
Yeah,
my West Virginia boy is a coach there, and I don't like it.
I like Stokes.
Yeah,
the $10 donation.
What's up, Alice Stokes?
But you know what? If they offered me that kind of money, you know where I'd be.
Oh, hell yeah.
Alice Stokes for the $10 donation. I don't see a comment with that, Alice, but if you put a comment in here, I'll make sure I read it out.
Can you please take that down? It's covering Kuz's face and it looks awkward. I just see the top of his head.
My bad.
His balls.
You can't see the Brady Bunch, right?
Is that better?
There we go.
There you go.
Can
you pan us across the top?
Can y'all see this schedule?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
There's some interesting games this week. Maryland and Ohio State. Both these teams are undefeated. Y'all give Maryland a chance in that game?
They were undefeated last year, too, when Ohio State beat them by like 80 points. So
yeah, I don't see it.
Is Talia still there? Talia Tagovailoa?
Yeah,
his little brother?
Yeah, he's on year 8.
Yeah, I was about to say that dude. COVID, medical red shirt.
He's the JT Daniels of the Big Ten.
Bro, I didn't know he was still in college, bro.
Yes, he's
like 33,
and he's killing it. He sucked here. He sucked at West Virginia last year.
Good for him.
What about Missouri? What about Missouri being undefeated? They're playing LSU at Farrett Field in Missouri.
They're gonna win the East again. I can't
Missouri
even say that.
Is undefeated. LSU's not looking good, man. They lost 2 games now.
No. Something about I honestly thought Brian Kelly was going to do better than this already. And it almost looks like they're going back a little bit.
He got his
because their recruiting's been relatively good.
Alabama, man, he ain't really done nothing since he beat Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, and now he's got a couple of bad. Listen, I can tell you right now, because most of you guys probably don't realize I actually graduated from LSU, even though I started off going to school at Oklahoma. Yeah. So I can tell you that the Louisiana contingent is not sold on Brian Kelly.
I've heard that from more than one person. I heard that when they hired him.
For what reason?
Yeah.
This style of
well,
coaching.
The thing is, he was never really. That's not who they were going for. They were going for Lincoln Riley. I thought it was going to work out for him because actually when LSU got Saban back in the day, they were not trying to get Saban. They were actually trying to get Tommy Tuberville, believe it or not. And that fell apart, and Saban and Tuberville had the same agent, and they just got Saban. It was kind of like a consolation deal. Even though it turned out, he was the best coach they've ever had. But nobody realized that at the time. And I thought it was going to be kind of the same thing because LSU was trying to get Lincoln Riley, and they kind of ended up with Brian Kelly as a consolation instead of getting Lincoln Riley. And so I thought maybe it would work out, the same way with Saban because it did seem like I never have liked Brian Kelly, but it's hard to argue with his coaching success. I mean, I never thought they would win at Notre Dame again like that, ever. I certainly didn't think they'd play in another national championship, whether they should have been there or not. So I figured as much as I didn't like him, he would probably work out pretty well, but he just hasn't. I mean, he started off bad, man. Faking the Southern accent, as goofy as the story that was, that turned a lot of people off of him.
What about the real cringe bump and grind videos he done with his players?
The stupid video with Walker, that was bad too. It was all bad. So
let's have Jonathan dances at the bar. You ever see Jonathan dancing? He dances just like Brian Kelly.
I don't dance, first of all. If I'm dancing, you better watch out. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's drugged me. No, dude, I think LSU has lost complete confidence in Brian Kelly after the statement he made against Georgia when he talked about, or when they played Florida State. When he said, we're not Georgia, I was like, oh, my God. You basically just said my team's not even close to that. Like, I'm sorry, but that's horrible.
It was a bad move.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. It was a bad move.
He doesn't seem to handle himself in the limelight very well in front of cameras.
He never has. That's why I never liked him, because the way he used to act on the sideline was ridiculous. I mean, do you remember the temper tantrums he used to throw when he was coaching for Cincinnati and when he started off at Notre Dame? I thought the dude's head was going to pop off of his shoulders at one point.
I never really paid attention to him like that, so I wasn't sure, but I just knew what he was doing was not right.
And the way he left Cincinnati was shady.
Oh, 100%.
Leave while they're at like some kind of an awards banquet deal and just walk out the back door.
That's gangster, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Christian Family Channel agrees with you. Killer Breeze, that fake Southern accent did it for me. Just horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let me get you guys' opinion on this. I don't think Lincoln Riley's a good fit for LSU either.
He wouldn't have. He'd have been no. Listen, Lincoln Riley, in terms of
not a good fit for anybody.
He's a good fit for Hollywood. He's where he needs to be.
That's what I was just about to say. He needs to go to the NFL. That's what he is. He's an NFL coach. Yeah. The dude is proven to be. You can't. Listen, I heard an interview with him recently, and he was talking about when he first got the nod to be a coach, to go from being a player to being a coach. The story came up because he was talking about how Mike Leach basically came to him and told him that, he was basically never going to be a player for him at this point in his career. But he ought to think about coaching. And he was kind of insulted by it at first. But he talked about how it's the second he decided to be an assistant coach, he never hung out with or talked to any of his friends that he used to have before that ever again. And dude, I'm sorry. That just tells me something about who you are as a guy. If I'm your boy and I've been your boy for years, and now you just think that you're better than, and you're not going to talk to me,
Yeah.
You're not the kind of guy I want to hang out with. You're not a good human being. You're just not. So he's not. He doesn't care enough about the people around him to be a successful college coach. See, if you want to count 10 wins a season and some conference championships, although I don't think he's going to win nearly the amount of conference championships that he won in the Big 12. He's certainly not going to do that in the Big 10, I don't think. And do we really think he's going to win a national championship with the defense that I mean, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself a question. Isn't this just who he is? This is his 7th year as a coach. He's done the exact same thing every single year. Every year. So at a certain point, it's just who he is.
We got a couple more super chats to get to. Stink Ass Cat with $10 chat, OUDNA, episode 5. Not sure exactly what that means. Maybe you do, Killer Breeze.
He might be talking about podcast. They put out on Twitter. Yeah, they put out on Twitter a series with Venables, Stoops, and Barry Switzer.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a 3-part series. Maybe that's something.
I saw a little thing on Barry Switzer today. Barry Switzer was doing some kind of live stuff on YouTube. I didn't get a chance to watch it, though.
Switzer's the man.
Got another $20 donation from Heath Stokes. Appreciate the hell out of that, Heath. I don't see a comment with that, brother, but
Switzer, sweet man. Anytime I watch interviews with Switzer, I can't get enough. Especially old footage of when he was, coaching the Sooners in the 70s and 80s. I mean, dude, that guy was one of a kind.
I love his candidness, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's
and you
always
can just tell he
interviews.
just loves football. When you watch him talk about in any interview I've ever seen, you can just tell how much he loves football and he loves kicking the other team's ass.
I think I'm gonna make him my first celebrity guest. I'm gonna have Barry Switzer on here.
Oh, dude, you
should have
break the
Tebow
Sooner
on.
internet.
Yeah,
Tebow on.
I'm bringing Colin Coward on here with Tebow, and me and Bob Steve. We'll have a damn smackdown.
Oh my
But I'll
God.
tell you, admittedly, I like to jump on a lot of USC, podcasts when I can, especially the live streams, and listen and see what they're saying. And when they don't think anybody's listening, they're all questioning whether Lincoln Riley's even really a good coach. That they're all questioning that. It goes way beyond Grinch. The guy is notoriously cold. He's just not a very warm guy, and he's very private.
He reminds me a lot of Cliff Kingsbury in a sense.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he really does. He was that way at Arizona. They said at Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury was very emotionally shut down. He was not emotionally available to his players, and the way he went about day-to-day operation was very intricate, and they said it was a harsh environment to be around. I feel like that would be that way with Lincoln Riley.
I think that's right.
Now, Chris is really cool on the old conference realignment thing. I've been hearing some rumors that Oregon State and Washington State might end up getting in the Big 12. Have you heard anything about that, Chris?
Yeah, I actually just did a live stream on it about 2 hours ago. There's a guy named Immaculate who's on a lot of shows. He's been on my show. He doesn't have his own channel. He's a contributor on some channels. And he basically has come up with this scenario. He's looked at all what's going on with the Pac-12, college football playoff, and everything, and he's saying, not predicting it, but he's saying, hey, this could play out this way. Basically, if Oregon and Washington State win their lawsuit against the Pac-12, they will have all the Pac-12 assets to themselves, basically, to do with what they choose. It could potentially include the college football playoff money from the expanded playoff, the $300 million ballpark money that they could get. Now, I'm not saying this will happen. This is some guy's theoretical scenario, right? And they could use that money to potentially buy themselves into a power conference, potentially, like the Big 12, for example.
Yeah.
But the Big 12 has so far been adamant that they're not interested. So
they should take them.
But we're Kirk Schultz, Washington State's president, and is on the College Football Playoff Board of Managers who governs the College Football Playoff.
Yeah.
And they have to have a unanimous vote to do anything.
They're
So
still
he could basically kill anything they want to do and say, look, unless you help me out, I'm not voting for this, regardless of what they do. Now, I don't know if, like I said, this is all a theory of what could happen.
Yeah.
But it actually kind of makes sense to a degree if you think about it. There's nobody reporting it though. There's not been anybody in the media say they've heard anything. Brett McMurphy said that the Big 12 has been adamant that they're not expanding right now. They're waiting to see what happens with the ACC. That they don't want any more Western schools. So
I heard that Greg Sankey was going to be at the Red River Shootout.
He is. Brett Yormark is not.
Brett Yormark's not going to show up.
So Yormark's not going.
That's sort of odd, ain't it? They're still part of the Big 12, right?
Yeah, but he thinks it'll be. I heard one theory. I thought the same thing, but I heard one theory that he feels like it'll just be a distraction. So he felt it would be better just to stay away.
I was hoping him and Sankey had some kind of lose or leave town match or some shit.
But would it really be a distraction? I don't think it would be. I think he just doesn't want to answer the questions.
Well, he might be pissed off. He probably don't want to deal with people giving him a hard time about that comment he made about Texas.
Yeah. What was it, the Texas Tech luncheon that he made that comment or something?
Yeah, he told Joey McGuire he said I'm gonna be in Austin on Thanksgiving. You better do what you did last year.
It's probably what we all knew he was thinking that. I just didn't expect him to say it out loud. But Brett Yormark has been known to just not live by the same credo.
He's different, man. And people, the college football purists out there don't like it because he's so. I mean, he basically told us without telling us that he was going to take the four corner schools. And what did he do? He took them.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give him credit, man. Big 12 could very well be in the same position the Pac-12's in right now. But Yormark acted quick.
Yep.
Took those four initial schools, and that was a master move because it set him up to be able to negotiate for TV money that the Pac-12 couldn't negotiate for, and the rest is history.
Yep. He wasn't overly. Pac-12 thought they were better than they really, or worth more than they really were, and Brett Yormark realized what the Big 12's value is, and he didn't try to oversell.
Right. The Pac-12 should have never. If the Pac-12 doesn't get greedy with their negotiations back in 2011 or 2012, whatever it was, Texas and Oklahoma would have moved to the Pac-12 and they'd probably be fine. But they, wouldn't do it. I thought both programs, I thought Texas as well as the Pac-12 were both being stupid, and I'm grateful because I didn't want to go to the Pac-12. I always wanted to go to the SEC. I don't give a shit about how hard it is. I'm tired of not having the level of competition that leaves no doubt when you win. I don't want to hear shit about, you don't play anybody. I'm so sick of hearing that.
Y'all think Oklahoma and Texas should start an SEC chant at the Red River Rivalry just to piss you off?
I do.
I'm all for it. I'll be honest with you.
For it.
I'll be honest with you, man. And I don't know if other Big 12, and I have nothing against Texas and Oklahoma. This is not a personal shot at all. This is just the way it feels. It doesn't even feel like they're part of the conference anymore.
That's
I agree.
You're right.
I totally agree.
Do you feel the same way, Killer Breeze?
Yeah, because I post a lot of their stuff in the SEC Facebook groups. There's a lot of Texas and Oklahoma stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like, even though they officially are, it just feels like they're not. I mean, because they've already embraced the SEC. They've already embraced it. They're ready to go.
You have to prepare. You can't just go and just So the thing is, I've never understood why any of these realignments don't take effect immediately. To me, it's kind of dumb, and I'm sure there's some contractual reason that's sophisticated above my my expertise. But the fact that it lingers on for a few years, I mean, man, it's you want somebody that's put in their notice to leave. You want them hanging around for the next couple of weeks. Like it's kind of
it's very awkward to a degree.
It is. So
I just want them to win the conference so they can move on and be like, well, we won the last one.
That would be great.
You know what I mean? Like, I really do want to see that.
Yeah, it would be terrible for us.
That's why I'm worried about.
But it's going to happen. The conference sucks this year. Let's be honest.
But I mean,
it don't suck, but it's just not. It's not what it was.
State sucks.
Yeah.
When you look at the AP 25, there's two teams in it, and they're the two teams that are leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought
it's been disappointing.
Oklahoma State would step up when these two teams left, but I don't think it's going to be Oklahoma State.
South Alabama.
All the kind of shit they're going through with I'm a man, I'm 53.
Well,
it's fixed to be I'm a man, I'm fired if he keeps that shit up.
Well, and that's the reason. That's one of the reasons the conference is being, from a national perception, is down this year.
Yeah,
is because of that. And Iowa State has not been good. Baylor up until last week, not been good.
Well, UCF had that bad loss too.
Texas Tech's not as good as everybody thought they were going to be. I mean,
right? TCU.
Yeah.
So they lost everybody, so they were going to dip. But I mean, to see everybody dip the way they dipped was like, it was horrible.
That's why the conference, like I said earlier, even if West Virginia let's just say a miracle happens and West Virginia wins out and wins the Big 12 championship game, we're still not getting into CFP because we're in the Big 12.
You never. I'll be honest with you. I think the conference that is wild this year, and when I look at their schedule, I believe Miami has a really good chance of going undefeated. They beat the teams that needed to get out of the way early. They already beat Clemson. Mm-hmm. They beat Texas A&M. Right? They have the proven shot against the SEC. The only team they have left on their schedule is who they have left? Florida State. And I think Florida State is in the same boat. So, and I mean, are we just going to discount North Carolina? Who's still undefeated? Like, how's Duke looking? I mean, my God, what's his name? The coach. I can never remember his name. Elko. What a job he's done at Duke, bro.
Yeah.
It's just,
they're legit. They're legit.
Pac-12 is having their best season. Pac-12 is having their best season in their last season, it seems.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying last time you and I were. It's you got to wonder if USC isn't sitting back going, damn, we outplayed our hand. We outsmarted ourselves here because they've just signed themselves up for a much harder existence in across multiple fronts, and it was all because supposedly they wanted better competition, and now the league is as strong as it's been for as long as I can remember, honestly.
Bro, how pissed would you be as a student athlete? You're going to Southern California, and now all of a sudden I'm playing in Ann Arbor.
I'd be pissed.
You know what I mean? In freezing cold weather.
Or even worse, man.
100%, man.
You have to go to places like West Lafayette and
that's what I'm saying.
Champaign, Illinois, where them are some pretty dreary places.
Cold, man.
I heard it.
Bones.
I heard
a good idea.
Contracts. Well, I've been here. They may end up contracting some teams. I think West Virginia, because his team brings a lot more to the table as far as fan base support and all that good stuff, man.
For sure.
I think they're getting away from just market sizes too. They're going with more of the things that they can get out of rivalries and that kind of stuff. And if they get West Virginia and Pittsburgh, that's a pretty natural rivalry right there. If they get those two in a conference, that'd be great for the West Virginia people.
Bro, I like what Rick Birdwell said. OU versus Miami would be a great playoff game. You're right.
That'd be old school right there.
History. Yeah, you're right on that one.
Hey, and what you were saying with Florida State and Miami, that's sort of nostalgic. Them two used to fight it out every year for the national championship.
Left, bro. Wide left.
Yeah, man. It'd be it's better when those teams are good. That's why I wish Nebraska would get their act together as well, man. It sucks seeing Nebraska so bad.
I don't know, man. I just don't look good for Nebraska, does it?
I think Rule will turn around. Rule it always. If you look at Rule's history, though, he always his first year is never good.
Yeah.
Is that right? I thought he started.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought he started faster.
Yeah,
for some
he's sort of like
reason.
Mike Leach in that aspect. Mike
Yeah.
Leach the same way.
Yeah. Rule's first year at Baylor, they won 1 game, I think, or maybe 2.
Oh wow, is that right? Okay, I
And
thought I remember
within
them winning
2
right
years
away.
later, 2 years later, he went 11-1.
And he
That's
won
Mike
at
Leach
Temple.
with-
He won at Temple. If you
Yeah.
win at Temple, you can win anywhere.
And he did it at Temple. He won 1 or 2 games at Temple his first year, and then he had them competing for the conference title within a couple of years. He's got to have a year to he comes in and he starts from ground zero, man. And
There were a
brings
lot
in
of
his,
Sooner fans that wanted him.
I think he's a good coach.
I got a
personally.
question
He's
for all
just
you
in a
guys.
bad spot, man. Nebraska's in a bad spot right now.
If Dan Lanning, if Oregon goes to the playoffs, do you think, I hate to say better teams, but do you think teams like eventually in Alabama, will they start looking at Lanning long term? Because Lanning is kind of, a lot of people shrugged their shoulders at the beginning and said he can't recruit, and now he's out recruiting almost everybody in the Pac-12.
He's out recruiting Lincoln.
That's what I'm saying. And
He's out
then
recruiting Lincoln.
all I heard was, can he get the line together? Well, their line is one of the best in the nation. Can he get a actual SEC defense put on that side of the field in Oregon? It looks that way. Like, this team looks legit. And he's winning.
They look good. Yeah, they look good.
I hate Bo Nix. I mean, I can't tell you how much I hate Bo Nix. But
Didn't Lincoln always say that he was going to put a wall around California or some shit in that recruiting?
Yeah.
He put a wall around his house so nobody would break in.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll put you some electrical wiring fence or something out there, man. Everybody's trying to get to him.
But Lanning's potential, so young as a head coach, man, looks so just through the roof right now. And nobody's outside of the game against Colorado. I hate the fact nobody's talking about Oregon.
Dude, I think they're gonna smack USC around. I think it might be a shootout. They might not be able to stop USC because Caleb Williams is legit, although you never know. But Oregon's offense looks good to me.
Physical.
It looks good. Yes.
Physical.
And I just don't see how USC is going to stop them consistently enough to win.
Oregon's defense, I think, will be good enough to hold USC to about 24 points. And I don't think USC's defense will be able to keep them. It's going to end up being something like 48-24 or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I don't think it's going to be that close of a game. I believe it will in the second half because the physicality Oregon's running backs are playing with this year, I've never seen them play. And these guys are not big guys, but the hits, you saw the hit on Shiloh Sanders. That damn running back blew him up.
Yeah.
Blew him up. So
I was impressed with them, man. I know Colorado's defensive line's nothing great, but their offensive line was pushing them around like it was nothing, man. They were running the ball for seemed like 8, 9, 10-yard clips constantly.
Yeah, all day.
I was impressed.
But we'll see.
Everybody puts a lot of emphasis on Phil Knight as far as Oregon's big donor and whatnot. But Mario Cristobal left Oregon for Miami. Do you think that Dan Lanning could be in jeopardy of leaving Oregon in the next couple of years if Alabama's job comes open?
Oh, 100. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that Saban and Lanning didn't get along, supposedly, is what was said in the past.
Surprise. Someone didn't get along with Saban, a little narcissistic Hitler coach out there.
But to be fair, if I'm going to want a head coach to take over Alabama, it's going to be the guy that I hear stood up to Saban and constantly gave his opinion no matter what. That's the guy I'm going to want, in my opinion.
That's Dan Lanning.
That's Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning was the guy that constantly got into it with Saban. So, I mean, if that's the case, I'm leaning towards that a little bit, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to say, I know you know what I'm with Kiffin. Everybody wants to see Kiffin come back to Alabama. I don't think it's going to happen.
Fourth and Lanning.
If Dan Lanning wins a national championship at Oregon, I believe he will be on his way to Tuscaloosa.
Well, if he wins national title, I think that Phil Knight may step up and make sure that they don't lose it.
That's not going to happen, dude. That's
I
not
think
going to happen.
they'll pool their sources, and Alabama won't get him at that point.
I don't think it's a money thing, though. Lanning, look, let's be real for a minute. It's kind of like Kirby Smart. They're not to the same effect. Where would you rather coach? Oregon or Georgia? If I'm a college football head coach, would I want to coach at Oklahoma or we'll say, I mean, I hate to do this, but USC. I don't like USC's history. They're very young, in my opinion. Same thing with Oregon. Oregon's really, I mean, USC has won championships. Oregon really hasn't. But when I look at this from a standpoint of long term, where is my mark going to be made? If Lanning comes into Alabama and wins championships after Saban, dude, that's going to cement him in history, period.
It's also more pressure.
Like,
what'd you say, Chris?
It's more pressure to follow somebody like that when he can make his own
100%.
market, make his own mark somewhere like Oregon, and he could be best coach in Oregon history. Where at Alabama, he would just be another great coach.
But, bro, okay, well, you say that, but right now, when I look at Dabo Swinney, last year, he was one of the best head coaches possible. Right now, people are like, Dabo fucking sucks. He's all right. Why do we want him to come to Alabama? Why do we want him to come here? Why? It's because where he's winning at. It's not as relevant. I hate to say this. It's not as relevant. The fans are more, Oklahoma, even West Virginia fans, bro, are passionate. Like Alabama fans are passionate. You're going to be ingrained in that. Whereas a place like Clemson, sorry, it's not. It means more. It really does mean more.
They got some pretty passionate fans in Clemson. They got the fake Death Valley, but
yeah, that's right.
Dude, Oregon out there in Austin Stadium may not be as big as Bryant Denny, but it sure as hell is louder. I can promise you that. That's a loud ass.
But I'm talking about ingrained in what bro. Tuscaloosa is college football, right?
Oregon's just never won a national championship. If Oregon can win a couple of national championships, you'd see them explode as far as a national brand.
Everybody wants the SEC. I think what Jonathan, what you're saying is basically, in your opinion, is a coach would rather coach at a high caliber or a big brand SEC school than a big brand school in another conference.
No, not necessarily.
Other than maybe Ohio State.
I believe this. Here's what I believe, because I didn't word this kind of weird. I believe that if I want to be ingrained as one of the best head coaches, and this is something I'm assuming every big head coach would want to do, I want to be known as one of the best, right? I believe I'm the best. I believe I can get to that level. Why not go to a school where it already exists? It proves that I'm better than that. You got to eventually put your balls on the table and be like, seriously, if you go to Alabama and win more than Nick Saban, who's going to argue with you? Right? If you go to Oregon and win a national championship, nobody's going to argue you won a national championship, but they're going to keep questioning, can you do it again? Can you do it again? Can you do it again? The moment you start losing, nobody cares.
Here's an interesting comment from Darth. He said he saw someone saying that Brent Venables might be the next head coach.
Sorry. Brent Venables?
I hadn't heard that before.
What do y'all think about getting your coach stolen again there?
That man's not going nowhere.
Kill Breeze?
No. He's not going anywhere, man. Yeah. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. Most people that I heard, there's always an ignorant faction of every fan base that runs their mouth online. But for the most part, the true Sooner fans never really lost faith in Venables because, man, from the outside looking in, what he's building, it just seems different.
I'll tell you what, I'd probably lose half my subscribers if that shit happened. I'd have to get rid of that belt back there for sure.
That wouldn't be good.
I'm going to enter the fan transfer portal if that shit happened, right?
Some coaches look like
but Lori's right. BV's not leaving Oklahoma.
I had somebody ask me the other day, and it was a good question. What happens if Neil Brown does win 9 or 10 games this year, and all of a sudden he becomes a coach people start looking at? Think about that story. He would go from being on the hot seat to being a coveted coach at a potentially bigger program in 1 year.
Man, it reminds me of the whole Jim Harbaugh situation. Jim Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh was on the hot seat at Michigan there, and he gave up part of his salary, and now Jim Harbaugh's come out of it looking like roses.
Yeah, you're right.
Him and
Well,
Bill
Michigan
Brown got
won.
lost in the ladies.
University won. They're not having to pay the man as much.
I bet they had to.
And they're winning
I
more.
I think they had to give him that money back though, didn't they? Since he started winning, since he beat Ohio State.
Maybe in incentives a little bit, but I mean, in the end of the day, I don't know. I think Harbaugh eventually goes to the NFL.
Seems like it.
Speaking of that,
they wouldn't have him.
Speaking of the Big Ten, who's going to be the next Michigan State coach?
Huh.
They said Chris
Urban Meyer.
They said Chris Kleiman was a candidate.
Well, I've heard Lance Leipold. I've heard, who else did I hear?
Jeremy Pruitt.
Phil Fulmer's going to be. He's going to be athletic director, and he's going to think that shit.
I can't remember the other coaches I heard, but anyway, there was. I think I did hear Kleiman's name thrown around.
Yeah. It was.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm always going to mention this dude because I feel like he never gets enough credit. You already know who I'm going to mention. But Utah, man. Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's close to retiring, though.
He is.
That's the rumor.
I don't think he's a big fan of the new college football and the way it's, the NIL and the transfer portal and all that.
You say that Saban didn't like Lanning, and Saban's still around and kicking. Do you think that Saban might have a little say in that, and maybe he won't let Lanning come to Alabama?
I think that I think Alabama
Kevin steal the job.
Correct. Pump your brakes before I start getting belligerent on this show. If you say some stupid stuff like that again, Kevin Steele as a head coach.
That's going to be your head coach, man. That's what Saban said.
Didn't somebody try that once?
All y'all worship Nick Saban, so he's a guy.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't think Saban's going to have a really big say in who takes over.
Now we know why Alabama fans hate Outlaw.
That's exactly right.
Well, yeah, they really don't like him, and they really don't like him. I'm not going to lie. You have to tread closely walking around the campus with this guy.
It's sort of 50-50.
But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, JPC, because you know way more about that than I would. I believe Alabama's boosters are going to have too much to say, even though Saban could be the greatest head coach all time.
You're right.
I don't think he's going to have any say.
I know it's a touchy subject, but a lot of them boosters weren't too happy when he done the whole BLM march thing.
Yeah, they
were
were
unhappy boosters about that because of the stuff that BLM was associated with. They've been implicated in a lot of stuff. Sex trafficking and money laundering and all sorts of crap. He didn't do his education on that. I mean, marching for equality is one thing, but having that label out there, that wasn't a good look.
I think Nick Saban's at a point in his career he doesn't care.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
He got involved in some political deal in West Virginia, or no, it was a national thing.
Yeah,
I can't remember what bill it was.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, he sent a letter to Joe Manchin and somebody else.
I was like,
I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but it was something that was was kind of a left-leaning bill.
He was persuading somebody.
Yeah, Manchin wouldn't vote for
That's what he was doing.
Manchin was a Democrat, and he was one of the few Democrats that voted against it.
I don't remember what it was, but anyway,
Saban tried to bend him a little bit. They didn't work.
Yeah. And that, most college football coaches would never try to do that.
He needs to stay in his lane. That's just it, man. He even got full of himself a little bit. Just like Joe Paterno, he didn't want to let go.
Well, I mean, they have a right to have their political views too, but they probably need to keep it under wraps a little better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's exactly
because no matter which way you go, you're pissing somebody off.
Exactly.
When I tune in on ESPN, and I hate to say this, or watch a football game, I want to hear about football. I don't want to hear about your damn political views.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about who you're voting for. I care less about.
I don't even watch ESPN. Only time I watch ESPN is when a game's on. That's it.
Me too.
That's it. I don't even watch game day anymore.
That's I'm forced to watch them because Alabama's on there, so I have to watch them.
This is the first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's what I mean. A game, but I don't watch any talk shows or any of that stuff anymore. Only thing I watch is YouTube. I swear, that's it.
When
YouTube
you say
and-
that,
Yeah.
this right here struck me. I saw it the other day. This year will be the first year ever. Well, there will be more viewers watching sports entertainment on YouTube from podcasters like us more than any television network.
That's
This
right.
would be the first year it surpasses it. They said it's already projected. That's wild to think about.
And that's why you see these
Crazy.
big networks taking shots at podcasters. They'll take shots at
RJ
podcasters.
Young. They're trying to get his viewers. They're trying to get the views. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
That backfired.
No, that's right.
That
RJ Young
backfired
took
on-
a shot at podcasters.
No.
No.
I'm saying it took a shot at
They
like
got
go
him
to
because
Fox.
he was a podcaster. They figured
Right.
it would equal ratings, but it didn't really help him. Just so
Well, I mean-
his show sucks.
Pat McAfee's the perfect example. Pat McAfee got in it because what was Pat McAfee doing? He was a podcaster
yeah. ESPN bought him out.
with
Pretty
a big
much.
personality, and now he tries to be himself on ESPN, and people get pissed about it.
Yep.
I mean,
Pat
I'm like,
McAfee's a sellout.
no, he ain't a sellout.
He's not a sellout. He's doing still what he
That's
does.
at West Virginia coming out. He's going to take up. We're going
Well,
up.
No,
He's
not
not a
always.
sellout. He is not a sellout. But
Sellout.
The money that they're throwing around, dude. How could you not take it?
Man, I would never take that money ever.
shut up. You were so stupid. This man was just talking about if I'm making $3,000,
Shit.
we going
No,
to the beach.
He said the only thing he's not allowed to do is use drop F-bombs anymore. He said other than that he can do pretty much. Now game day, I guess, is a different story. But speaking of that, have y'all seen the controversy about that? What he said on game day about Washington State?
No.
I did not see that.
No.
Well, did y'all hear the comment that Washington last 2 weekends ago, Lee Corso called the Oregon State Washington State game the Nobody Wants Us Bowl?
Lee Corso was 110 years old.
I know, but he called it the
I know.
Nobody Wants Us Bowl, right? Well,
That's
after
true.
Washington State won the game, Jake Dickert, Washington State's coach, called out Lee Corso and went after him a little bit, right?
Okay, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
He's 88
Why
years
not?
old and
Isn't
has
that-
dementia.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, I was about to say it's hard
No,
to
no.
watch him on TV.
No. You're allowing this man to get on television. You're allowing this to happen. If you know he's got problems and you're allowing it to happen,
Yeah.
then you're damn right. I'm going to go after. I'm not going after him. I'm going after the network.
But did Lee Corso say
But anyway.
anything was wrong? Did Lee Corso say
No,
anything
he
that
didn't. No,
nobody
he
was
didn't.
thinking?
No, he didn't.
No.
He didn't. That ain't the point. But anyway,
Just
with
the thing is,
Pat
Nobody
McAfee,
wants
those
them
programs
man.
suck.
Nobody wants Washington State or Oregon State.
the next week, Pat McAfee, they were talking about the Washington State flag that flies every week at game day. I guess y'all know that story, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Pat McAfee was like, "Who cares? Nobody cares about Washington State. I'm tired of talking about them." And yeah, and their fans are pissed about it.
I bet.
Yeah,
Nobody
I
wants
mean,
to go to Pullman.
Ryan Leaf caught him out. Washington Post wrote an article about it saying game days have become nothing but bullies now, and all this stuff. And I'm like,
I mean, it's
what do they
ESPN.
expect?
I
It's Pat
can't watch
McAfee.
Yeah.
Corso on TV anymore.
Man,
It's
that's
too
what
hard
they
to
pay for.
watch.
That's what I don't get, man. These people will go out and get these personalities like Pat McAfee, then they want to muzzle them. I
Yeah.
don't get that shit, man. That's why if I did get a job with ESPN or something, I'd probably fire within
No,
a couple months.
I
You
mean,
ain't getting no job at
I don't even watch.
ESPN.
I don't even watch Pat McAfee show that often. I'll be honest with you, because it's just not my.
No,
it's not the
I've
type
never
of show
seen it.
that caters to me. I don't find it that. I will watch segments of it.
Me
and I'll go
too.
back and I'll just watch clips people play on or post on Twitter or whatever
Yeah,
of the
Yeah.
interesting stuff. But to sit and listen to this whole show,
I've tried it a couple
it just
times.
doesn't interest me.
It's like you said, a lot of the stuff he's talking about, I'm not really interested in because
Well,
he don't really
right.
talk about a lot of college football. He really does
It's
much
NFL
well.
based.
He,
It's
I mean,
NFL based.
he talks a lot about West Virginia because he's a West Virginia guy. But
Indianapolis,
anything he says about West Virginia will end up posted on Twitter somewhere anyway. So I'll get to hear
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? I don't have to sit through a 3-hour show
That's right.
and hear him interview Aaron Rodgers about his COVID vaccine or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't.
Did he? Is that where he played college ball?
West
Yeah, he was-
Did
Virginia.
he play at West
He was
Virginia?
he was a kicker and punter for us. Yeah, a good one too.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Lori Brogdon wants to know if y'all will give her your prediction for the Red River Rivalry this weekend. We'll
keep
start with
changing
you.
it.
We'll start with you, Chris.
The showdown in 1 minute, rivalry the next.
See, that's a tough one.
Give the OU prediction for Saturday.
I'm going to go. I'm just going to go with my gut. It's going to be a really, really close game, but I think Texas ends up pulling it out by a field goal.
That's fair.
High scored or low scored?
I think it'll be fairly low scoring because I think both teams have pretty good defenses. Oklahoma's defense is stout this year, so I don't think Texas will be able to move the ball like they do in other teams.
Warmer.
And I do like Gabriel, but again, Texas's defense is pretty stout too. So I think it'll probably be in the 20s, maybe low 30s, to something like that. I don't think it'll be super high scoring.
What about you, Killer Breeze? What you got to say?
I think Dylan Gabriel's the better quarterback. I think OU's defensive line is better than people think. I don't think they're great, but I think they're pretty good. A lot better than what you would think, and they can get the job done. As long as our lines can hold up on both sides of the ball, I think Oklahoma wins. And I do think it probably is close, but I think it is going to be fairly low scoring. So I would say something like Oklahoma 35, Texas 20, 21, 24, somewhere around there.
Damn, that's low scoring. What does
Yeah,
college
for
football
Oklahoma.
come to? I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, what does college football come to?
I like
about
Hank's
you,
comment. I like
What you
Hank's
got,
comment.
Ron?
I got a kick out of that.
I know, I saw it. I was like,
OU 45.
all right.
What you got, Jonathan?
That's
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I got Oklahoma winning this game 31-28.
I like it.
Middle of the road.
I think that
I'll actually get to watch it because West Virginia's not playing. Oh, sorry, John. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good. I think that if Oklahoma can run the ball, I think Oklahoma can pull away with the game. But Texas does have a pretty good run defense. So if they can take some pressure off of Gabriel and be able to run the ball effectively,
That's yeah.
I think Oklahoma can run away with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's the thing: their pass blocking has been pretty good. Their run blocking has been the more questionable thing. So I actually don't know. I feel like they're going to need to be actually be kind of a pass. Their passing game is going to have to be their strong suit. It's just going to have to be because I don't know if their running game can do it.
Deep shots, and don't attack the middle of Texas defense. Attack the edges. Get to the outside. Their safeties aren't that fast. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Oklahoma has a very underrated wide receiver room, man. I've been impressed, and nobody really knew what to think of that room before the season started. But they've proven to be a really good room, and they've got quite a few different weapons that they can use at any given time that are all capable. So man, if they can get the passing game going early, I like their chances.
I think a stat that stood out to me that not many people's talked about. Kansas had their backup quarterback in the game, right?
Yeah.
And yet Texas was not able to sack him one time. If Texas can't get to Dylan Gabriel, now this could just be more than just an upset. I think Oklahoma might win this game by a couple of scores if they let Dylan Gabriel sit back there and not get no heat on him. They need to sack him at least once or twice, or Oklahoma could win this thing by a couple of scores. And that's why I said Oklahoma 38 and Texas 27.
I mean, man, at the end of the day, Texas, I don't know, man. I'm just not as sold. That the one thing that everybody always brings up or has been always bringing up when they talk about how Texas is going to win this game is how they have better athletes, bigger athletes, But here's the thing, even when Texas sucks on the field, they still have mega talent in the locker room. They always do. They're Texas is their backyard, so they've just always done well recruiting. So the fact that we might not be as good as them top to bottom is nothing different for Oklahoma. Bro. We always deal with that.
How many top 5 recruiting classes have they had? And they wasted
a ton. I mean, dude, when I lived in Austin from 2000 to 2013. When I first moved there, Oklahoma went on a 5-year run beating Texas from 2000 to 2004. And every one of those years, Texas had just as good a talent as us on the field, if not better, in terms of the athletes, technically top to bottom. I mean, and they had top 5 classes every year, if I remember back then. And then and then they still had good classes all from through the aughts, But even into the teens, they still had good classes. They just pulled Texas on the field and had shitty records. What are y'all laughing at?
The comment.
Oh man.
When I pulled up. Gibson's gonna drop his whole nutsack on Texas.
That's fucking funny.
Is that an inside joke?
Mike's out of here. Mike, take it easy, man.
I guess because they said he's gonna teabag Texas or something.
Yeah. If Texas can't get
Lori's out of here. Take it easy, Lori.
They may not have sacked Jason Bean, but did they at least get to him a lot and rush him a lot? And
they got to hit him some. They don't. They're going to be in trouble.
No, Texas is weird, man. Like their inside defensive line is stout. Like probably, honestly, best in the country. But when you're talking about the edges and on that secondary, it is questionable at best. If Milroe was a better thrower, bro, I can't tell you how many times Isaiah Bond got behind the secondary, wide open, and Jalen Milroe just never saw him. I'm like, dude, this dude can't read the defense. He can't read shit. Yeah. Like,
Killer Breeze, Killer Breeze, what's the temperature on Jeff Levy? Do Oklahoma fans like him for the most part?
Yeah. I don't think it has taken off the way I kind of thought that it would. Not that he isn't liked, but I think people are still kind of still not 100% sold.
He's been sort of up and down this year. He's had a couple of good games and a couple of bad games.
He has. He's really this year. He's called a couple of games that have just been like, I don't understand what he was doing. So, but I do think I still believe in the guy. I don't think you can underestimate or undermine or I don't know what the right word is here, but I think it's very significant how much turnover they had when Tebow left, and what that did to them. They just weren't the same team, and then Venables is coming in and requiring a completely different talent set to pull off what he's trying to pull off. And so, I just think they need a couple of years, man. Jesse actually, said this when the new staff took over, man. It'd be great if you start off in a rocket ship, right? But the likelihood is that's not what's going to happen, and it's going to take a little while to build it right, I think they've made great strides, but truthfully, they need a couple more years of recruiting the way that they've been recruiting, and then let's see what they can do.
Sometimes starting off real fast like that can be a bad thing because then they expect it, like back in the day with Terry Bowden at Auburn and Larry Coker at Miami.
Will Muschamp at Florida?
Yeah. Gene and
Dude, won the SEC East
Hey,
first
Lord.
year.
Yep.
Gene Chiswick at Auburn. It just goes on and on.
Dave Aranda.
Dave Aranda, yeah, for sure.
2 weeks ago, they were wanting him out.
I
Take
believe
it easy, Brian.
Levy would be one of the better offensive minds. You got to give this guy a minimum 3 years. He needs the players he's got to get in there because the scheme you went from Lincoln to Levy. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's the same type of system. No, it's not. It's a completely different system.
No,
so you're bringing in a whole new set of players. It's going to take time.
It
Not
does,
every spread
man.
offense is the same.
Nope.
No. But I love their, listen, I love the team that they have recruiting on both sides of the ball. I mean, Emmett Jones, our wide receivers coach, has just turned out to be a recruiting stud. And I love DeMarco is a great recruiter as well. And Levy's good. So, I think they can do it. So far, they've done fairly well. I wish they'd have a little more talent in the offensive line in this class. Not that it's terrible, but I just, I'd like to see a little more there. But other than that, I love what I'm seeing on the recruiting trail and what they're actually pulling in.
If Texas does win this game, let's say Texas wins this game, do y'all think Texas is actually back? You think they can finish the season undefeated if they beat Oklahoma?
Dude, I got to see them pull it off the whole season.
That's what I'm saying. If they beat Oklahoma, you got to call it now. You can't wait till the end of the season to call it. You got to call it right now. If they beat Oklahoma, can they finish the year undefeated?
No.
Don't think so.
I don't think. I think they trip up somewhere. I mean, I haven't seen if they come out and
they're back.
Huh?
If they can beat Oklahoma, I think they'll finish undefeated.
Oh my
You do?
God!
If they beat Oklahoma in this first game, yeah.
You got it soft.
They may play Oklahoma in a rematch, and then Oklahoma will get their ass in the rematch. In the championship.
Then that means they're not back.
Yeah, right.
I disagree with that.
That's the only loss I can see them having. I can see them losing that second game to Oklahoma. But that'd be the only game I can see them losing. Other than that, I think if they beat Oklahoma, they could be back.
They need to beat them twice. Coos, I know what you're going to say. Beat them twice.
Right. And I think they might be able to beat them twice. If they beat them once, they can beat them twice.
I'm stirring the pot today.
I just don't. I mean, I guess it depends on what back is. I mean,
yeah, what is back?
Going to the Big 12 title game, to me, they're back.
That's right.
Whether you win it or not.
That's what I would be like.
On a down year?
But I think also that I think if Texas makes the playoffs, they're definitely back. If they make
West
the playoffs,
Virginia,
they're back.
I went back up a minute. I'm going back. I guess if I look at this from a Texas fan, Texas fans probably don't expect anything less than a conference championship, right?
Yeah,
100%.
So maybe
they expect a national championship.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
that's bad. In my opinion,
truthfully,
that's unrealistic. But yeah,
if they win the Big 12, they're back. In my opinion, then they can go to the playoffs. I think that's back. I don't think they have to win a national title this year, but if they win the Big 12 championship, because they ain't won a Big 12 championship in a long time.
I agree with that.
7 or 8 years. I think you can consider that a win for them. And going forward, they'll probably end up winning a national title.
They're going to be in the SEC.
But I don't think they're going to beat Oklahoma this Saturday, so it's not going to
matter. I'm just not convinced.
But if they do beat Oklahoma, they're back.
Not yet.
No.
Season ain't over, brother.
That's right.
Not back.
I'm not giving them that.
I'll have to look at their schedule. I don't even know who they.
But they got to beat Oklahoma. All roads go through Oklahoma for Texas.
Texas has I'll read off the schedule real quick. Oklahoma, obviously, at Houston, BYU, Kansas State, at TCU, at Iowa State, and Texas Tech. I believe at Houston could triple.
Is the BYU game on the road or at home?
It's at home.
They'll win it then.
I'm joking about Houston, by the way. Houston's terrible this year.
Yeah. If West Virginia loses to Houston, we might as well go home. With Dana Holgerson, their coach now, God almighty.
No, he's done.
They're going to whip me.
I don't think he
They're
is.
going to whip me.
You don't think, man? I mean, they are bad.
I know, but he's best friends. He's best friends with their biggest donor, man.
Remind me what I don't think I ever understood why wasn't he in West Virginia, right?
Yeah, for like 7 or 8 years. Yeah,
Right. Why did he leave?
for the Houston
I
job,
don't really
basically. They gave him a chance.
But why would he leave West Virginia for the Houston job? I don't understand that.
Well, his argument is he wanted to move back to Houston because he loved the city, which he had actually made comments about that even in the middle of his tenure at West Virginia, that he said he regretted leaving Houston to go to Oklahoma State when he was offensive coordinator because he loved Houston. Yeah. But there's also the fact West Virginia wouldn't give him he wanted a contract extension and a raise after the 2018 season. West Virginia said no, is what I heard. So I think that was part of it as well.
That year that he left, I saw him like he was the West Virginia coach. And then all of a sudden I was at a casino in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which isn't far from Houston. And he was in a steakhouse with a bunch of Houston people. We were told.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? He's the West Virginia coach. I hadn't heard anything. Were they looking to get rid of him at that point?
Not really. No, but that 2018 team we had with Will Greer and those guys they should have won the Big 12 or at least played in the title game that year.
Yeah.
And we did. Yeah. And he knew, I think in the back of his mind, he knew after that class left, we had nothing from a talent and depth perspective. And he made he was Dana Holgerson's not a good recruiter. And he made a comment after he left that he couldn't win a Big 12 title at West Virginia because he couldn't recruit the right kind of players.
So like somebody else I know.
Urban Meyer?
Well, Lincoln Riley. You can't recruit.
I was going to say Urban Meyer.
And West Virginia.
Dana wasn't a bad recruiter necessarily, but he wasn't great at it. And he was kind of lazy because he didn't want to. At West Virginia, you got to travel the country and recruit, because we're such a small state. We don't produce a lot of high school talent, so you've got to travel everywhere. And from what I've heard from people who know some of the ins and outs of West Virginia is the only time he would ever travel to see a recruit is if it was a really, really highly touted kid and he needed to close the deal. Other than that, he sent his assistants to do most of the recruiting.
That's wild.
Yep. Yeah, and he also wasn't very well liked by our president because of his sideline antics and all that stuff either. That he didn't like that.
If it wins games,
yeah,
I agree with you, but
like antics, what do you mean by was it really ridiculous?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, he was known for chugging Red Bulls and throwing his headset, screaming and yelling and cussing.
Red Bulls.
You don't know about the Red Bulls? Dude, he drank 6 to 12 a day.
I ain't heard
what?
He had a cooler on the sidelines for his Red Bull.
Hey, I ain't heard Ripple since Fred Sanford. Hey, that's what
you didn't know. And I tell you what, there are also rumors floating around Morgantown. I'm trying to think how to put this without slandering somebody and potentially getting this video blocked.
He looks just like
no, he with that too, but he liked to party. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
yeah. It's like him and Lane Kiffin need to get together.
6 to 12
a day on a game day. They said he would drink up 6 to 12 Red Bulls.
Dude, I would have a heart attack.
They said Ed Orgeron used to do that. They said Ed Orgeron had like 20 cans of Red Bull in his damn car.
It is true.
That's probably why he talked like he did.
Have y'all ever seen that YouTube video where he's the Ole Miss when he was the coach at Ole Miss and he's basically singing a song? Have you ever seen that video?
Oh my gosh, bro!
I have not seen that.
It will make you piss your pants. That's what's gonna happen.
He was singing,
bro.
No, it's like let me look it up and see what the name is.
If you want to send him the video,
yeah, send me the video. I'll put it up in here. Might get a white strike on it.
Hey, what do you think about Joey Freshwater?
That's a great coach right there.
Colonel Rev is crying.
That could be the definite successor to Dick Saban's Joey Freshwater.
Joey Freshwater. Oh man!
Now y'all give Lane Kiffin such a hard time for it, man.
Jesse, I just sent you the video.
He's smart enough to get him an alias so he can get him some.
I know, dude. Joey Freshwater, out of all the names, like
That's just like what was it, Michael Vick that was Ron Mexico?
Yep. Yep. Dude, I didn't know about that for
They've been watching too many damn soap operas or some shit. Watching crazy ass last names, man.
Jesse, I just sent you that video of Ogeron on your to your text message. You need to watch it. It's gonna make you. It's hilarious.
What do you think about? Do you think Ole Miss is on a? I don't know, man. Lane Kiffin, I think he's going to stay at Ole Miss forever. I don't think that dude's going nowhere. No expectation to win a national championship. Rides out 9 wins a year. Like
he doesn't seem to be as there it is. He doesn't seem to be as motivated to keep moving up as I thought he would be. He does seem rather comfortable. But at the same time, he also doesn't seem like he gives a shit to me.
Yeah, I mean, he could be right on that one.
He has this weird kind of lackadaisical. That's the way it comes off to me. It may be completely different. He may be hyper focused, but it just kind of seems like he's just kind of doesn't take it quite as seriously as I would have expected him to.
When he said he thinks he's played against Nick Saban the last time, I almost died laughing. Bro, I'm like, this man straight up said Saban's retiring on national television.
I think he's pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. He makes me laugh quite a bit.
He's definitely one of the best personalities in the sport, man.
Yeah. I thought Mike Leach was that way, too.
He was. Mike Leach was a treasure, man.
Mike Leach was awesome.
And you had both of them in one state, in Mississippi, out of all places.
Oklahoma fans will always be bittersweet that he was only with us for a year. Yeah, this is it.
Crying in his Confederate handkerchief. Colonel Reb is crying. He needs some real relief. He asked Coach Georgia, can you save us from this dread?
Bro.
His shirt off, and this is what he says.
Oh, hang on. Football.
Colonel Reb is.
Bro,
that's some good shit, man.
It
never gets old.
The Farmer Fran character had to have been on Waterboy. Had to be built around Ed Orgeron. Had to be.
100%.
Maybe I won't get in trouble for that. I ain't keep it up there too long.
You won't.
Probably not.
You won't.
Because I know when I was showing that game, like you said, because they restricted me. They wouldn't let me watch.
That's a little different. That's not a YouTube videos or tip. It depends on who it is, but typically a YouTube video is a little bit. There's less strict about.
Bro, that's one of the best videos. That made my day.
That was pretty good.
Man.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I've never seen it. I didn't see that coming. He's like,
I love it. Football.
When he said
football.
When he said this is what he said, I thought, okay, I know what's coming now.
Yeah, man.
They should do one for Brian Kelly now.
Yeah.
With a fake accent?
Yeah, with his fake accent. This is what Brian Kelly said.
It's my
what was his famous line?
It's my family.
In my family.
It's my family now.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
way
so
all
cringe.
So ridiculous, man.
So know I'm making sure I fit in with everybody down here.
That pissed off every LSU fan in there. You know that.
So
you
ridiculous.
know it did.
Louisiana people don't even have Southern accent.
No, I was getting ready to say that's not even
they're coon asses, right? Killer Breeze.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, so my accent tends to be a little bit different.
Creole Cajun.
Yeah, they're Creole.
But-
They're not even.
but-
They don't even speak with a Southern accent down there.
That's right.
Not really.
Yeah, it's different. It's different for sure.
Brian Kelly's lost. I think
Yeah.
we got Darth over here tickled. He said somebody's purple crying face over here.
Oh man,
Poor old Ed.
That's awesome.
He's calling him Eddie Ogre.
Eddie Ogre.
He sounds just like an ogre, don't he?
Isn't he an analyst or something at Baylor now or something? I keep seeing pictures online of him in Baylor stuff.
Who?
Ed Orgeron.
He can't analyze anything. He can't talk.
Ole Miss fined $75,000 for fans throwing debris on the field versus LSU.
Wow.
What's
In
that?
addition to a $100,000 fine for the conference fans storming the field after the upset victory.
Who?
Ole Miss. I'm reading this article right now.
Oh, Ole Miss got. Yeah, they did charge the field.
Yeah, but they were, I guess, they were throwing stuff at the players. They were throwing stuff at the players. People are wild, dude. Like, what is wrong
Yeah,
with
they
you?
are.
It's not really, I shouldn't be laughing at that. It's, you're endangering people's, like, seriously. You ever been hit by a full water bottle? It should have knocked you out.
Oh man. Yeah, easy.
You ever had someone try to hit you with a golf ball? Ask Lane Kiffin about that shit.
I know.
He put
Tennessee
that golf
fans,
ball in his pocket and held on to that shit until they come down here to play
dude.
Ole Miss in a baseball game and threw it out as the first pitch against Tennessee.
That you couldn't script that.
That's
When
the way
he did that,
he sees something like that and he takes it and he turns it into something to gouge somebody.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'd like
Boys, I gotta run, man. It was great hanging with you, you and Jonathan and Coos, and well, hopefully we'll do it again sometime, man. But y'all have a good night.
you too, man.
Take it easy.
take care, brother.
Yeah, I got to roll too. I'm in a hotel and it's 11 o'clock here. So
Are you traveling for work?
You
yeah.
got one
Plus,
of them, you got one of them huge free cell phones, do you?
Oh my gosh, bro! This dude will not stop with the women remarks with me. in San
Why? I
Antonio.
wonder why. Who's been telling me about all the Godfather hoe train you got going down there in San Antonio?
There is no such thing as that.
guys, my battery is dying on my computer
All
too,
right,
so I'm
bro.
going to have to run.
Oh, okay.
Thanks
You
for
wanna
having me on,
plug-
JPC.
You want to plug your channel before you go?
Yeah. I'm on Kuz's Corner on YouTube. Cover Big 12 in West Virginia. A lot of conference realignment stuff. So if y'all ever get bored and want to hear about West Virginia, I'm your guy.
Nothing
Oh,
boring about
gosh.
that, brother. That's some good stuff.
It is right now, thankfully.
Oh yeah, damn right.
Yeah.
Y'all have a
Come
good
up there
one.
and burn a
All right,
couch.
you too, Coos.
Yeah, I need to do that and film it one of these days. Burn a couch.
Yeah,
and
you
put it on.
do.
Hey, yeah, hell yeah.
That would be fun.
And Jonathan will help you set one on fire.
Yeah, it's moonshine.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Good night, guys.
All right,
All
bro.
right.
And then there was two.
I know, right?
It's
So
always
quick.
the Alabama fans that last. See, you see?
Yeah.
Now y'all know why we're Alabama fans. That and Sooner fans. Yeah, I like y'all too. Crimson Nations rule. Jonathan's over here drinking his obligatory Ed Orgeron drink that he's got out there.
Well, now that I know he drinks out, I can
Yeah,
drink
dude,
it
I've
again.
never seen that shit before, man. That shit got me hemorrhaging over here.
I haven't seen that video in a while.
I didn't know
There's a couple.
he started doing that shit.
My favorite part is when they stop and he goes football. Like, oh my god, bro. Oh man. No, I don't know if Colorado. I saw a comment earlier. I don't know if Colorado got fined for that or not. For them storming the field, they were storming the field, beating everybody. Colorado State, TCU, whoever it may be.
He's drinking flowery drinks in the Bahamas after walking away with a chunk of money. I guess he's talking about Ed Orgeron.
Yeah,
Actually, he did walk around away with a chunk of money.
he did a lot of money.
And if I'm like Jimbo Fisher, I'm like, fire me, please. Fire me.
Yep.
That's why they shouldn't give these coaches these long, big-ass contracts, man.
But okay, so this just came out today. LSU's Greg Brooks. I don't know if you guys have kept up with that or not, but he was removed from the not removed, but he was sidelined from the team for what they thought was a tumor, and now has been diagnosed with brain cancer. Looks like brain cancer. Wild. Young. Oh man. Seems like every year there's somebody like
really
that.
Got to interact with the gallery much tonight because we had so many guests on. But if y'all want to get your comments in or something, you can hit the donation button down there, the little dollar sign. You can highlight your comment and push it to the top like those guys did earlier in the podcast, and we can go ahead and read it out for you. If y'all got something y'all want to add to the show, or maybe give us an idea for a topic in the next coming days.
Jacksonville State's 2-0 in conference, 4-1. They're beating Middle Tennessee right now, or about to beat Middle Tennessee. They're about to be 5-1, 3-0 in conference. Yeah, Jacksonville State.
Not
right next to where I live. No, Jacksonville State. We're next to where I used to live in Anniston, Alabama.
What's his name's at now, right? The guy that used to be the head coach at West Virginia.
Yeah.
Almost here.
Oh my gosh, let me look up his name. Yes.
So Lloyd Brogdon wants to know what teams.
Rich Rodriguez. There we
go. Rich Rod.
I can't believe I.
Lloyd Brogdon wants to know what teams do you think will beat Alabama other than Texas? How many more games do you think Alabama's going to lose?
We'll lose at least one more, I think. It'll either be LSU. I don't want to say that.
I don't think LSU.
It's the only other team I can think of.
I think Texas A&M might beat us.
I don't think so.
I think Texas A&M is going to get us this weekend.
You think so?
Yeah.
God, I hope not. I can't take. That's why I didn't go to this game. By the way, superstitious. I went to the one 2 years ago, obviously, and they lost. So I was like, I'm not going to this one.
We didn't get a prediction on the A&M game, but I can get a prediction from you. What you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to end up winning that game. I think we end up winning it like 27-21, 27-24. I think it'll be a close game.
I think the key is the same thing that I said was the key with Ole Miss. I almost looked prophetic. I said if he can limit himself to one turnover, we can win that game against Ole Miss, and he did.
It's going to be loud.
If he can limit himself to just one turnover in this game, we can beat Texas A&M. But if he starts doing what he does sometimes, and he didn't look good against Texas A&M last time he played him last year. That was his only start last year. But he was sort of thrown into the fire on that one.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I think so. Possibly two at most, I believe, is we beat Ole Miss. I know Ole Miss isn't a really good team, but so I'll say two. I think it'll either be between Tennessee. Tennessee's looked horrible this year at times.
I think LSU is about to implode. I think LSU's about to implode, man.
What about Texas? Texas got Tennessee. Tennessee got curb stomped.
I just don't think LSU can beat us. I just don't think they can. Now
if Jalen keeps playing,
they'll probably lose to Missouri this week.
If Jalen keeps playing if he keeps improving the way he's improving since the Texas game, we're not going to lose another game. But he's got to keep improving. He's got to keep that trajectory up. In other words, we got to keep running the ball effectively. He's got to keep running the ball effectively, and our defense has got to keep showing up the way Kevin Steele's got it running right now. So,
yeah, it seems like a common thing these days to storm the field, Justin. I don't know, man. We don't do that here at Alabama, but
no, you're expected to win.
Texas probably would have stormed the field too if we'd been playing in Austin.
Oh, 100% they would.
It's like every time Alabama wins, people storm the field. Every single time that we
– You mean lose?
Yeah, every time we lose. LSU stormed the field. Texas A&M stormed the field. Tennessee stormed the field, tore the goalpost down, threw it in the river.
Tennessee went wild. But I can't blame them, dude. We beat them, 16 years in a row? Come on.
Yeah, it was pretty epic for them. I mean, they've had generations of kids born since last time they beat us. So.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Graduated from high school without ever beating Alabama.
That's wild. Oh, man. So the only that's good. The only reason Colorado Storm, yeah.
That's not going to happen,
I don't think Deion's going to be there long enough to even win a national championship.
man.
3 years, I think.
If he can right the ship a little bit and get some of them toss-up games that you were talking about, and go 6-6, he'll probably stay another year or two.
He'll stay 3 years.
But if he only wins like one more game the rest of the way and goes 4-8, I don't know, man. I think he might lose his shit or something. He might be like,
I don't think so.
He might be a one game.
I think he's gonna leave. I mean, he's not gonna leave his son.
Is his sons both? Are they sophomores? What are they?
Yeah, like they're both coming back. And even then, Shador already said he's staying through his senior year because he wants his degree. So, like, his sons are going nowhere. Like, so I believe he'll be there at least 3 years, in my opinion. I believe 3 years.
What if he bottoms out and loses out the rest of the way and goes 3-9?
I think he's still there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's say year 2, he goes 3-9 again. You think Colorado gets rid of him?
No.
You think they give him a third year?
They went 1-11, dude. They're going to give this guy time. Think about how much money he's generating. It's not about the wins.
3-9 is not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough progression, especially in
money.
It's
money.
Might be right about that. Sadly,
publicity.
Sadly enough, it might be about that. But with somewhere like Alabama, that shit wouldn't fly.
No, of course not Alabama. But he's bringing them national attention. He's bringing them a lot of money, sponsorships they normally would not get. So they're going to deal with the losses if they have to. You know what I mean? So,
right. I saw another game too. I was going to get your take on real quick. Notre Dame and Louisville. Notre Dame's ranked number 10 and Louisville's ranked number 25. But I think both of them. I think Louisville's undefeated, ain't they?
Louisville, I don't know. Sorry, I was keeping up with the
Jackson
Jacksonville
State
State
game. Not, but Notre Dame, man, they can't catch a break, man. They played Ohio State, almost won, barely beat Duke. Duke was ranked, and now Louisville's ranked. These are teams that you wouldn't think Louisville and Duke would be ranked, but Notre Dame's catching.
Louisville they got a gauntlet, or Notre Dame's got a gauntlet of a schedule. Damn near every team they play is ranked.
Notre Dame goes 10-2 this year. Would you consider Marcus Freeman as a candidate to replace Nick Saban?
No. You need more than 1 year, 2 years. I need to see some consistency. I just don't know who's going to be willing to step up to that, though. Like, you got to find somebody, first of all, willing to. Like, I'll tell you who I think would be somebody you would have to consider, though. If Mario Cristobal turns around Miami like he's doing, he has to be a serious candidate.
Yeah. Would he leave Miami? I mean,
I don't know. That's the thing. He's from Miami.
It may not be the Miami. It might not be the money. It might just be the Miami for him.
Yeah, because he played there. I mean, his legacy's in Miami. So that would be the hard part is, would you be willing to come up? I believe Alabama has a lot, you know what I mean? And we're talking about, obviously, something we don't even know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. But
Darth said people were making T-shirts and putting HB in front of the CU for Colorado.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's actually getting quite a few people banned or blocked. I hate to say it, but I think Bama could lose 3 more games. I don't see that. The defense looks too good.
Yeah,
if it went for the defense.
The defense is coming around, and that's the main thing that gives me hope. Is that if Jalen Milroe just continue doing what he's doing, the defense can win the games for us.
Yeah. We haven't had a defense like this in a long time.
I mean, all we got to do is put up about anywhere from 24 to 31 points, and we can win every single game. If our offense can put up 24 to 31 a game, I think we can win the rest of our games.
Yeah.
Because Texas really didn't score 34 points on that defense.
No. They did the breakdown today.
You give me a stat on that earlier today. Give me that again.
Yeah, so they did a breakdown on what the defense gave up against Texas, because Alabama has one of the best defenses in the country right now. I know a lot of people are going to bring up the 34 against Texas. Jalen Milroe threw 2 deep in our own territory interceptions, which gave Texas super short fields. You have a muff punt, and then you have 2 bad punts that pinned our defense in really bad spots. They said, as PFF does this magical breakdown of numbers, our defense gave up 13 points essentially total. Like, the yards were not there. If you go and look now, there were a couple of good passes that Ewers made, no doubt about it, that he made on the defense. But Quinn Ewers is talented. They have good receivers that are good. You know what I mean? Like, their offense is pretty damn good. And for us to only allow 34 points off that many mistakes is wild, in my opinion. Because you look at who else they've played. Look at their output. You know what I mean? Like, even
they didn't put up a lot of points on Rice either.
so, like, it's hit and miss. But
That's
I think Kevin.
Not surprised me, man. If Oklahoma beat them by a couple of scores, not just upset them, but beat them handedly, we're not surprised.
I think Texas hasn't ran into a team that knows what they are yet. Like, Alabama had no clue who they were. This just started against Ole Miss. Was the first time where I went. They figured it out. They found out what they are, and we're gonna live by that or die by it. And I can handle that. I can't handle we have no idea what we are, right? And we're just throwing things together and trying to figure stuff out. So Justin Goss says, "Oh man, that first name you're wanting to get me riled up." Dabo Sweeney, Mario Cristobal, James Franklin. Dabo Sweeney is proven what I kept saying from the very freaking beginning. He was surrounded by talented coaches.
Yeah.
Can he bring in replacements? Can he spot the replacements? Can he develop assistants?
He wasn't really able to do it like Nick Saban. Nick Saban's had to go through it a lot. And you can excuse him if he maybe misses on a few here recently. James Franklin, a lot of people may think that's not in play, but I think that's a good candidate because James seems like he's not happy at Penn State because every time an opening comes open that's a big opening, his name always gets thrown in there. I don't know if that's just a move to get more money out of Penn State or if he's actually unhappy at Penn State. He started his coaching career down here in the Southeast at Vanderbilt. So he may want to get down back to the Southeast. I don't know.
He definitely has a lot of ties in the South. He did good at Vanderbilt.
I don't really like James Franklin, though. Personally. I don't really
he's definitely not the hot shot hire, the big name. That's for sure.
He sort of reminds me a lot of Lane Kiffin in a way.
James Franklin?
Yeah, because he's always trying to he's always trying to steer the pot a little bit.
Yeah, he is. He's a little off when it comes to stuff like that. It's kind of funny.
It's just my opinion.
I don't think Saban will leave until he proves he can beat OU, Texas, and Georgia all in the same year.
He may not have a choice.
I don't think Saban has anything left to prove. Obviously,
he's already beat all 3 of those teams.
You're the greatest coach of all time.
He's already beat Oklahoma. He's already beat Texas, which, by the way, he's beat them twice. Alabama had never beat Texas in their entire 100-and-something year history.
Yeah,
until Nick Saban. He's beaten Georgia numerous times. I mean, Georgia just finally got over the Alabama hump. So I think he don't have anything to prove to those 3 teams.
No. And we killed Oklahoma the last time we played them.
Yeah, he just let off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, with Kyler Murray, that was a horrible game.
Yeah, went up 28-0 and ended up winning 45-34.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You about ready to get up out of here?
Yeah, I got to wake up, take the kids to school tomorrow. I'm off work. Tomorrow's my last day off of my 4-day vacation.
All right.
But yeah. Hopefully you guys have fun.
All right, brother. We'll talk more about that store situation, I guess, whenever you get time.
Oh, yeah. Hit me up tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
All right. We'll check you later.
Have fun. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Boomer Sooner, right? That was Jonathan Lewis, college football Jonathan Lewis. And now y'all just got me JPC. Before I get out of here, though, I want to ask y'all if y'all got any ideas for topics for the rest of the week. We've talked about the Red River shootout ad nauseum for the last couple of days, as well as Alabama and a few other teams today, and con time Deion Sanders, as we always do. If y'all got any good ideas for topics, just drop it in the comment section of one of my videos, or you can hit me up on Facebook under Jesse Paul Clark in Facebook Messenger. I can talk to you there as well. Yeah, I think you're right, Darth Iskinen says, I think people are sleeping on Oklahoma, which I love. Let us stay under the radar. Well, if y'all beat Texas this week, the radar is gone. Y'all are completely exposed as being legitimate and having a target on your back therefore. Anything on Tebow, Outlaw? Okay. Yeah, I can probably dig up something on the Skittle Shitters. I haven't done anything on the Skittle Shitters in a few weeks. So, yeah. But also, you see people in here with these badges, as I've said before, if you want to be an outlaw posse and get your badge like Darth Iskines and others and Justin Goss and whatnot, all you got to do is hit that join button, that subscribe button. It's not $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. You'll get your badge, you'll get deputized, and you'll get your Four Horsemen shout out, which I do on the podcast, as well as the comment of the day. I may start doing the Four Horsemen shout out in these live streams as well. And with that, like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.